In this video, I want to discuss everyday wellness, and in particular, I want to discuss presence of mind in relation to absence of mind, ironically as it is, and how these concepts relate directly to expanding our individual process awareness of the surrounding environment regarding our direct perceptions in relation to things that we might want to focus on or engage our interests in, but that operate in relation to a surrounding environment in which we are also aware of, but sometimes have more of a peripheral awareness rather than a centralized awareness on, that impact our perceptual processes and our psychological processes, and which can either enhance or diminish our capacity to perform a task that we find meaningful or valuable, or to engage more in these meaningful processes by actively consuming aspects of our attentional resources and our perceptual resources. And it's through recognition and ways of regulating those perceptions that we can connect ourselves more meaningful to the environments that we come in awareness from, and can retain more meaning from and get more from various qualities of experience, and taking notice of characteristics of experience that enrich the quality and the thoughtfulness of our perceptions through our direct perceptual experiences of the environment. And when we're, say, engaged more in an individual process, as I'm doing right now, creating this video, or as you might be doing watching this video, the more focused you are, say, on watching this video rather than the surrounding aspects of your environment, has more to do with this process awareness and these process perceptions that are direct and centralizing to our experiences, while what's on the periphery has more to do with environmental awareness and awareness of our surroundings. And it's through this surrounding awareness that we come into an environmental awareness, and we can recognize various objects and how they can influence not just ourselves directly, but our individual processes, and sometimes come to distract us or to take up those perceptual processes and the resources that we require to be able to sustain that attention that's centralized in a particular direction, as we have other aspects of the environment that might be competing for those perceptual resources, in which will occupy that perceptual stream, that occupy that perceptual space that's limited and just simply can't contain all that meaning and information, and needs to really hone in on it and refine it to be able to make use of it effectively, and to engage more optimally in this process, in any process for that matter. So when we develop a recognition of not just the things that we say find meaningful, but the things on the periphery of our awareness that are related to what we find directly meaningful for this individual stream, or this process awareness that we might engage in, that is more direct to the self and direct to the self and the surroundings, we might also want to consider surrounding aspects of awareness, and particularly environmental awareness, and how these subject-object relations impact us as individuals. Say you have like a fan going on in the background, or an air conditioner, and it's making noise. That sound itself can take up perceptual processes, and it can either provide a pleasant sound that can calm us and actually positively regulate our moods and attention, and also sometimes inspire us and bring us pleasant thoughts. But it can also be negative. It can get annoying, maybe from time to time. Maybe it's rattling or something like that. But at the same time, maybe that rattling can also captivate our interests, and be like, oh, why is it doing that? Should I do something about that? So it's important to consider the various aspects of our that surround us and how they influence our perceptions. Likewise, there might be various smells that distract us, or it could be the temperature of a room that we don't always take notice, and these changes in the body too, and sensations in relation to various environmental conditions or various objects. Maybe there's something just in the periphery of your vision that you're seeing, like a piece of paper or a blinking light, that we might want to shut off because it's distracting, or if we have nothing to do, maybe that blinking light or that piece of paper draws interest, and we stop for a moment, we think about all the dimensions, like why is it doing that, or how does that even work, or why is that paper there, or what's on that paper, or we see an object on the periphery that it's at a far distance and we can't quite make out what it is, so we make predictions of what it might be, and we go closer up, and maybe we're right or maybe we're wrong, but we come to identify what that object is through as we move closer to it. And these all occupy various aspects of our individual process awareness, but also our surrounding environmental awareness. And when we start to form a better recognition of the environmental awareness, this can really enhance these process awarenesses when we're more engaged in particular dedicated tasks that we want to do and engage more meaningfully in, rather than when, say, we don't have too much to do. Because the environmental awareness will allow us to be able to recognize aspects of the environment that may distract us or occupy our individual processes of awareness when we're engaged in a particular task that we want to be engaged in, or that we find meaningful, preventing us from engaging more fully within that individual process or task by adding these additional elements. So having that recognition and awareness of the environment allows us to integrate that and figure out ways of managing and regulating those processes in relation to what matters to us, and allow us to direct what's more significant and valuable to us within our perceptions, and engage more in it through pathways of interest that are direct to our perceptions. That's all I wanted to say about that, so I hope you enjoyed. Bye.